today we're going to do a video on how to submit a joint application, a solicitor versus a citizen acting on their own. You need to log into your My HMCTS account. You need to go into Create Case, Family Divorce, New Law, Apply for Divorce or Dissolution. Next, you're going to choose whether it's a divorce or dissolution that you're applying for, and whether you're doing a sole or a joint. For the purposes of this video, we're going to choose joint. Next, you need to fill in the details relating to yourselves as your solicitor, so your full name, reference if you've got one, a number, which is optional, and your email address, which must be provided. You need to confirm that you're willing to accept all correspondence via email, and search for your organisation. Next, you're asked if the applicant's marriage is irretrievably broken down. If you say no, it will tell you that the applicant has to have a marriage that is irretrievably broken down in order to get a divorce. Next, we're asked the information about the applicant. And if the name is different to that on the marriage certificate. If you say yes to this, you'll be given options as to how this is different than it was on the marriage certificate. Choose who the applicant is divorcing. This is who applicant 1 is divorcing, not who the solicitor's firm is acting on behalf of. So it's who applicant 2 is in this scenario. Were they a same-sex couple or opposite-sex couple when they were married? And the email address of applicant 1. Then you need to look up the postcode. If you're unable to look up the postcode, you can click I can't enter a UK postcode, and you're asked to provide the information of the address, which can be used if the postcode lookup doesn't work or if the applicant is overseas. Click to find and then choose the address. You can choose whether the applicant's details are private or not private. You do no longer need a C8. Next, you need to provide the information of the other party. And if their name is different on the marriage certificate. And again, if you say yes, you are given options as to how their name was different and how they changed it. Next, you're asked if they're represented by a solicitor. For the purposes of this video, we're going to say they're not represented. You need to provide the information of applicant 2. You do need the email address in order to apply online. You cannot have an applicant 1 online and an applicant 2 in paper, so you do need the email address for service for them to complete the online application. Next, again, you need to provide the address details. This can be done via the postcode lookup, or again, if it doesn't come up, you can manually enter the address by clicking the link there. It will automatically populate. Next, you need to give the information from the marriage certificate as it is found on the marriage certificate. And answer if the marriage took place within the UK or not. If you say yes, you don't have to enter anything. If you say no, you need to put the place and country of marriage. Next, you're asked to tick which jurisdictions apply for the divorce. And if there are any other legal proceedings. If there are, you can fill in a box here any information relating to the current divorce or any other proceedings that relate to the divorce can be put in here. Next, it's for financial order on applicant 1. If you say yes, they can choose whether the financial order will be relating to the applicant or the children. And then you can upload the marriage certificate and any other supporting evidence, such as deed poll. You choose your document. The other fields are optional, so it's entirely up to yourselves whether you fill this in or not. It's suggested that you do choose what the document type is as marriage certificate or translation. It will default to other if you don't fill this in. Next, you come to check your answers. You're able to go back and change any part of the application that you wish by clicking the change, and then you will have to go back through the application again until you get to this screen. If everything's okay, you can click to save the application. Once you've saved the application, it will be a draft application here that you can send to the party for confirmation. If you're happy, I'll just click on show you the PDF that comes up. It does generate a full PDF document for you. And this shows you what the generated document is. If you're happy with everything, you can then put invite applicant 2. If you need to make any amendments, you can click to amend the divorce application. That gives you the opportunity to go back and make any changes. We can invite applicant 2. System's changed to say awaiting applicant 2's response, and applicant 2 will receive an email. For the purposes of this video, I am using an inbox that's just to show you what they can receive. So they'll get this application here. It says that they need to respond and that you've put in a joint application. They'll click this link and they'll create an account. Then get an email to confirm their email address. And they'll click confirm. They then need to create a password. And then they can log into their account. They then get taken to a page where they need to enter the access details that were sent to them on the first email. So they get sent the reference number that was generated and a unique access code. This then takes them to a screen that tells them they need to review the joint application. So they'll answer their own questions. So they have to admit that the marriage has broken down irretrievably. If they say it hasn't broken down irretrievably, it does tell them it must have done. And if they click continue, it will say you cannot apply to get a divorce, and they'll click to end the joint application. You'll then receive a notification to state that the applicant 2 has not agreed to the divorce, and you will need to do a new application as a sole applicant. If, however, they confirm, they can continue. They check the details that have been populated by yourselves, and they can make any amendments. The bottom question is pre-populated from the answer that was provided by yourselves in the application. They can then answer the top question as to whether they changed their name when they got married or not. And they can change this answer as well if they wish. They then have to agree that the notifications can come to them via the email address that's been provided, and they can provide a phone number if they've got one. You can then choose whether the details that they're going to provide for address needs to be kept confidential or not. Then they'll check the address details and they can make any amendments to this that they see fit. And here they can click to enter UK postcode if they need to change that address. They then get to say if there was any other cases relating to the marriage. They say yes, they have a free text box, which it tells them that all information needs to be provided. If they say no, they can just carry on. Next, it goes into some information about financial orders, how they go about applying for a financial order. If they say yes to applying, they get to choose who it's for. If they say no, they can continue. And it tells them again how they can apply. They then get to check the answers that have been provided by the solicitor firm and confirm whether everything that they're reading there is accurate or not. If they agree, they say yes and it'll go through. If they don't agree, they can explain what needs to be changed. This will then come back to you on a notification. You can make the amendments to the application and then send it back for review again. They say yes and continue. They then check their own answers. Again, they can make any changes by clicking the hyperlink at the end and it'll take them to that point of the application. If everything's okay, they click continue and then they confirm the joint application. They then sign the prayer and submit. It then informs them that this has gone back and that this is the date that they should expect to have a response, which is 14 days. The solicitors should then receive a notification which looks like this, that says that the other applicant has reviewed the joint application and it can now be submitted, and you can click that link. Should click the link, you'll need to log in. And then you'll be shown the case. Applicant 2 is approved, so you can now go in on your sign and submit. Where you can do statement of truth and reconciliation. You can choose whether this is an urgent case for jurisdiction race. If you say yes, you ask to provide supporting information, which is an optional box, so you can either provide it or not. Say no. And then have you discussed the possibility of reconciliation and your prayer. And the statement of truth. And then your name and the solicitor firm name. You're then taken to the fee. If you choose to pay by help with fees, you are asked to provide the help with fees reference for both applicants. As for a joint application, both applicants need to be eligible for help with fees in order to put help with fees claim in. Or you can pay by PBA. You select the account PBAs to come out of and include your reference number. Next screen confirms that we're taking £593 from the payment method of fee account and the reference number. You then get to check your answers. You can go to the hyperlink to change any answers. If you're happy, you can submit the application. The joint application has now been submitted and you've got an event at the top that says sign and submit. When you go into the Documents tab, you click the joint application at the top. This is both sets of answers that have been provided, applicant 1 and applicant 2, in the draft format. and that ends how to put in a joint application.